I'm living in a home that is paid for. I have no bills. I mean, I have bills, but I don't have credit bills. I don't have any debt. Let's put it that way.
Great.
The cars are paid for. The problem is my home is in a trust for me, and I'm running out of money myself. I've been able to survive since 2007 on my savings, but I'm down to $4,000.
Oh my goodness. Hold on one second.
Hold on just a second there, Ken. Now, I'm thinking, what has she been doing since 2007 when she's been living off her savings? I mean, yes, I can understand, I guess, using some savings, but don't she work? And this home was in a trust. Now, I don't know anything about a trust, but I'm assuming a trust. I don't pretend to know stuff. If I don't know it, I really just don't know it. And I hear this call for the first time with you. I think a trust is like where someone says, here's some money or a piece of property or something, and you can use it, but I'm not sure you can take anything out of it because it's in a trust. All I can think of is like trust fund babies, and they get a whole bunch of money later. But in this case, it seems as though she's getting it as a later adult and it's in a trust. You know what she's going to want to do, don't you? You know what I bet she's going to want to do? She's going to probably want to see if she can take money out against the trust. I don't know anything again about a trust, but why is she not working? Why has she been living off of savings since 2007? And even if she had a disability, my thinking is, well, then wouldn't she have like Social Security disability or something like that? Ooh, this is tasty, family.
How much are you burning through in a month and then in a year?
About $1,000 a month.
Your expenses are only $1,000 a month?
Yeah, I don't owe anything. I just pay my gas and electric and cost of living. I do have food stamps, and I make sure that I don't shop beyond what's on those food stamps.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay, everybody just hold. I got questions. Now then, she's living on food stamps. She has a house in a trust. So remember I just said to you, I think she's going to probably want to try to figure out how to access the equity in the house, because I'm assuming the house is paid off. I'm just making that assumption. She doesn't work. She lives off of food stamps. Now, either she has a disability, which we will obviously be respectful about. If she has a true, genuine disability, physical or otherwise, because there can be other forms of disabilities, and I certainly recognize that, okay? But a bona fide disability that keeps her from being able to work. So perhaps the person that left her the money knew that she was, perhaps disabled or in some financial turmoil going on in her life and said, I want to make sure she always has a roof over her head. I am hoping that she is not trying to break into the trust. This is when I wish I had a legal background.
How old are you, Sherry?
I'm 63. Yeah, 63.
And you've been doing this since 2007, essentially living on $1,000 a month out of a savings account?
Well, 2007 to 2013, I kind of lived off of whatever I could make doing garage sales or helping an old person or little things here and there. So sometimes it was less than that. But
you don't have any Social Security?
No, because I'm too young.
Okay, we'll continue on.
And when I applied for disability, they kept denying me. And they said, you can reapply again next year.
What's your age?
Okay, but hold. But okay, because I understand a little bit about Social Security disability. Very little, okay? But I understand enough to know that, yes, you need to reapply if they deny you one. But she is 63 years old. So what did she do from, let's just say, the age of 18 to 40, 50? In other words, she's applying for disability, but at what age did this disability start? I'm going to try hard not to jump to conclusions and say she's lazy, because we don't have enough information about that. By the way, those of you guys who are new to the Ramsey reaction show with me, I absolutely love doing Ramsey. Okay. So it takes a very informal tone on this channel.
What's your age for Social Security? Have you done the math?
67.
So she's Gen X. She's right along with me. What has she done all these years?
Yeah, 67. So
You live on your
then
own?
after 5 years of denying me, they said, well, you've already passed the 5 years of being eligible for disability, so now you can't have disability.
What
then
would the disability be for? You have some type of physical limitation?
Oh, I have a ton.
Oh, okay. So
Well, okay, before we say I have a ton, let's hear what they are first.
are you able to work at all?
No,
You can't do something over the phone? You can't do customer service all day long? You sound great on the phone right now.
I had the same thought.
Thank you. Well, the problem with folk, because I've thought about that too, is that I have chronic headaches and complicated migraines. And also with my diabetes, sometimes my blood sugar drops really quickly, although I'm getting better control over that.
I know a whole lot of people that go to work with migraines. Okay. I mean, personally, I know a lot of people over the years, including now, they deal with migraines at work. I know people that work full time and have diabetes and they have to watch it. And by the way, guys, let's get off the myth that just because someone has diabetes means they're overweight. There are people who are not overweight that have diabetes. So let's just make sure that's my little public service announcement, okay? Because everyone jumps in, oh my gosh, they must be overweight. Nah, I've known people that were in better shape than I am. And, when I was younger and they had diabetes, it's a medical condition, okay? So right there, I'm not going to try to sound cruel, all right? Because we are a kind and caring channel. But so far, I'm going to strike both of those out as to why you can't work. And like you said, you can't sit at home and work a telephone or whatever.
I was, even thinking about just doing something for like 4 hours a day, like renting
Sherry,
cars out of
that's what that's what I was about to say. I do not want to minimize your physical ailments at all.
Oh, I'll minimize it because I know people who go to work with massive migraines and with diabetes. Okay. Her situation's not unique. Lots of people do it.
But those headaches aren't all day long every day, presumably, correct?
But if you want to use it as a crutch, those headaches they can be your excuse for I can't work. Yeah, the other thing too, guys, is I could not handle sitting around and doing squat. I could not handle sitting around waiting for the food stamps to show up, living on $1,000 a month, and all I got is, got my trust house. Let's see, she's buying some food on her food stamps, paying the electric and light bill. I mean, what a life. I guess if that's what you enjoy, okay. But I go to work with two bad knees. I have a brace for each knee that I can walk around in. I got about 30 minutes of mobility without the braces on before it really starts to bother me. So I deal with this. I know people, where I've worked at, they come to work. And like a couple of them over the years, I've seen there's like a scooter that you put your knee on and they scoot on the scooter with one knee on the scooter. The conditions, myself included, okay, that people go to work in. And then you got this lady, saying, well, I can't go to work because I have a migraine. Well, migraines come and go. I mean, don't get me wrong. I sympathize. I have family members who've had it. I know people in the past and currently who have to deal with it. It's horrible. Double knee arthritis is horrible. Lots of medical conditions are not fun. But we go to work.
Correct.
Well, the headaches are, the migraines are. The migraines are worse in the wintertime. Wintertime is the most difficult. I have 3 months that I'm pretty much.
But my point is, you have got to do some type of work in and around your ailments. There is no other alternative. You don't want to be a ward of the state. So you call us today in a pretty desperate situation, correct?
Correct.
So what is the core of your question?
The house is paid for. I didn't know.
That's great.
What would be the best way to get money out of the house?
No. I knew it. Oh my God. Oh, I am so right. I am so right. Sweet Jesus. What did I say? Wow. Okay. We're going to backtrack to all of those people that suffer with migraines and go to work, to all those people that suffer and deal with diabetes, and they have to take their medications and all of that stuff, and they go to work. And then you got this chickie here, all right, going, oh, gee, I can't go to work. It's just too much work because I got migraines and I got diabetes. I've seen people who are blind take the public transportation system, go to work. Wow. Now do you see? You see, I would respect her more. I'm trying to see if I can find her name on here. Hold on here. I've got more than one screen to look at. Let's see. What's her name here? Hold on. I got to lean over and look. It looks like a Sherry in San Bernardino, California. I think that's her name, if I'm blowing up my screen correct. Hold on here just a second. Yeah, it's Sherry. Okay. I think it's Sherry. All right. So I'm just going to call her Sherry because that's what I think I see on my screen. Here's the thing. Sherry really doesn't want to solve the problem. What Sherry really wants to do, she wants to continue sitting on her lazy butt, and I'm using the nice word, okay? And she wants to withdraw that money as well. You know what I'm beginning to think? This house was left for her in a trust. I don't know if she can withdraw it. There may be laws and rules on it. I sure hope she can't. But this also goes to show you her ailment ain't that bad. Okay? Here's the thing. It's my belief that people who have ailments, okay, like myself, all right, we fight against the pain. We struggle against it. It would be so easy for me to go, I can't exercise today because I hurt. Okay? I hurt every bloody day. Every day I hurt. When someone says, what's knee arthritis like on an extreme level? I said, take a couple steak knives, stick them in your knee, and then go walk. Right? Those of you with arthritis, extreme knee arthritis, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're bone on bone, yada, yada. Okay? But we struggle. And the last thing we ever want to do, at least I'm hoping, at least for me, I know it's the case. I don't want to withdraw from something that is secure and stable. Lazy people, however, will look for the easiest way out. Lazy people will go, well, I've been living like this, what was it, since 2007? Never worked a day in my life. I'm happy to just live in poverty. And now that this poverty money is running out, I need to know where the next check's going to come that I don't have to work. Wow. I really, really hope that this is not something she can just cash the house out on. I don't know. I don't know anything about a trust, much less this specific trust. But wow. Okay, family, you know how this works. Just keep on going here.
Oh,
because it's in a trust.
No, don't borrow against the house. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, if I should borrow or sell.
Jade, tell her why. That's a horrible decision.
Don't borrow against it, because that's now putting the one thing that you have that's safe and secure at risk, because income is an issue for you. And so you don't.
Laziness is an issue for her, Jade. Lazy. That's the issue. She's lucky she got the trust. I wonder if the person who left it to her, I don't know if they knew what she was like, but they left her a trust, I guess, versus just giving her the house.
Want to do anything that's going to add debt to your life, and then next thing you know, you can't make the payment. But I do want to circle back to the Social Security. Why are you not able to take the minimum benefit at 62? I mean, obviously, if you wait longer, you'll get more, but why are you not able to?
I'm Gen X. We can't collect till 67. If we do, there's like an early draw penalty. And if she's 63.
Have you checked into that?
Of course she has.
I checked into it. I talked to a disability lawyer this past week, and she said, try and apply for SSI first.
She don't need SSI. She needs a freaking job. That's what she needs. Some people genuinely need SSI. She needs a job. And she needs to quit walling around over 2 medical conditions that do not keep you from having a job.
So that's what I'm doing this week. I'm applying for SSI.
Uh-huh.
So I could at least get like $600 a month from SSI. If they deny me, then I will have no choice than to tap into my Social Security. But, my property taxes are $2,600 a year, and then you've got the insurance and the car insurance and
get a job
bills, and I don't even know if that'll be enough to.
Well, Sherry,
Okay, there are a few cases where I can actually tell you that I think even a minimum wage job would help someone. In this case, even a minimum wage full-time, part-time job would help this lady. See, when you are at the epitome of being lazy and you're at the epitome of just waiting, she's waiting on the government to do all of this. And what the government didn't do, her late relative left her this house in a trust. Okay. She is so happy to just wait for someone else to come solve her problem. But what she fails to see is that she's going to live in poverty her whole life. Who wants to do that? You want to voluntarily be poor the rest of your life. But there are people that are willing to do that. Hats off to you if that's what you wish.
Be more than what you have now.
I want to come back to the fact that true. You have, even if you're working 20 hours a week,
anything,
4 hours a day, 5 days a week, doing customer service on the phone, you're very sharp.
No, she ain't sharp, Ken. She ain't sharp. No, sharp people see answers. They direct their thoughts and questions towards it. They find solutions. They're somewhat go-getters. That's a sharp person. I look at you and I go, hey, you know what? You're sharp. You're smart. You got it together. No, she's a lazy butt. I do not call her sharp. That knife has dulled over the years, if it ever was even so much a knife to begin with.
You're very kind.
We don't know that she's kind. Once again, you know, God love the Ramsey show, but sometimes they jump into all these assumptions. Oh, yes, you're a kind, wonderful, caring person. We don't know if she is or is not. What I do know from this call is she's lazy.
You can be doing something like that. Mm-hmm. You have to. You've got to be bringing in some income.
She don't want to.
But here's the good
news.
How
do I get jobs like that?
How do you get jobs like that?
You just apply. You got to apply online for customer service jobs.
You got a 63-year-old asking how to get a minimum wage job. Are you kidding me? Come on. This ain't her first rodeo.
Here's what's great about those jobs. Everybody's not looking for those. In fact, most people turn down their nose at those things. Mm-hmm. Sherry, that's your dream job.
He's talking about low wage, minimum wage work, part-time work.
For you, I mean, you understand?
Did you hear her laughing in the back? That evil cackle of a laugh. Did you hear that? I'd replay it, but I don't like to replay when I'm filming. Did you hear that? Did you hear that in the back? Yeah. Back row, did you hear that? That was in the background. That is the evil cackle laughter of someone who's going, and you think I'm going to go work? Please, I got my next government paycheck to look forward to. She really called in just to see if she could tap into the house. This was not about her improving her life, working, and as Ken says, being sharp.
What I'm saying, right?
I've said it before. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We in no way endorse this company, but back in the day when I used to work on cruise ships, I'd go out for a long contract, but then I'd have a little spurt of time that I would look for work, and I'd go on this website. It's still there. You can go on arise.com, and it's all work from home, remote customer service jobs.
Yeah.
You pick what you want. It tells you ahead of time what the pay is, and you get to literally go on and pick your hours. So you can say, I only want to work a 30-minute block, or here I want to work an hour and a half block.
Yeah.
And you do it like that. It's out there. I'm telling you, go to arise.com.
Yeah.
63 years old. She should know how to actually find this stuff on her own. Okay. To find a minimum wage job is not something that should take a call in to a national radio show for. Not saying that you can't. Clearly you can, because here we are listening to it. But all these tips and advice are on deaf ears. This is not the solution that she wants. She wants the solution that will allow her to keep collecting off the government.
See what's out there.
You do not have competition for those jobs, Sherry. People don't want those jobs. You actually need this job. Mm-hmm. And you get on the phone and you go, hey, I'm 63. I'm great with people.
Yep.
I need some part-time work.
I'm a lazy butt. I've been living off my savings since 2007. I'm only going to work because I have to. Hey, there's the employee that I want.
They need to know about all your business. They don't need to know about your headaches and all that stuff. Those ones
you don't even have to do that. It literally, It's not even an interview, girl. You just go on there, apply for your stuff, put your headset on, and you're in it.
This is going to be the type of woman, God help you, if you get stuck sitting in a cubicle next to her, she's going to be that type. We've all known these type of coworkers, right? Oh my God, it's 2:00. Oh, geez, I need my Tylenol. Could someone please go find it for me? Anybody got Tylenol? As they click-clack their heels through the hallway to go take their daily Tylenol. I know someone like that when I was in my teens. Okay. Teens. I was doing a work study job. And every day at 2:00, oh my God, she always had a headache. I loved her, okay, but it was just you could time it like clockwork. This is the type of lady, Sherry, I believe, in San Bernardino, California, the caller, okay. She's going to be the type that, oh my God, every second she's going to feel a migraine coming on, and she's going to expect all of her coworkers to pitch in because she's too weak to work. This is the type of person that almost needs to be in a job by herself. Like, a call center, you have your own, what is it at home that you can do call center jobs and stuff at home, customer service. That's what I'm thinking of, customer service jobs, preferably away from other people.
Love it. So let me do the math for you, Sherry. If you're working just 20 hours a week, okay, you can make enough to take care of all of your basic bills. The good news for you is you own your home free and clear.
Yeah.
Yes. And the person that gave it to her put it in a trust. The question is the trust breakable?
Yes.
You have no debt and you've been living unbelievably cheap. So we're not talking about a 40-hour a week, 6-figure job, but you've got to bring some income in.
She's been living like a pauper without bread.
Yes.
I don't care how you do it.
So are you going to hop on a rise when you get off this call or no?
No.
On Monday.
See, now that's the thing. Let me tell you something. When I decided, this is a true story, when I decided that I wanted to be a teacher, okay, and I was bound and determined, that was it. I wanted to be a teacher. We'll put aside the fact that I didn't have the money to get my master's degree for it, and I didn't have to get a master's degree. I already had a bachelor's, and I could have just worked for the district, but we'll put that aside. So I go to the University of South Florida Education Department, and I say, you know what? I go up there to the education section. I say, I want to be a teacher. And I speak with one of the professors/advisors. They're also professors, okay? And I remember her name, but I'm going to keep it off air. So I speak to her. She becomes one of my favorite professors. And she says to me, I think we're sitting on like the second, third floor of the University of South Florida, okay, campus here in Tampa. And she says, right over there, she said, is the bookstore. She goes, you're going to need to get this book and this book. They were the beginning manuals that every teacher needs to have to start passing the state exams. She goes, you need to get those books and start studying for the state exam. And I said, awesome. So I thank her. And do you think I went home? Do you think I got in the car and said, I'll do that on Monday? Oh, hell no. I literally walked down the elevator, out the campus doors, straight to the bookstore. I had those 2 books in my hand in less than 30 minutes. I went home that evening. I started pouring through them. Well, about 3 months later, I see her again. I'd started taking classes and stuff, and she wasn't yet my professor, but she would become my professor later on. But she was also a /advisor. So I go in to see her. About 3 months has passed. And she's like, okay, Carrie, she goes, remember those books I told you about? You need to start studying, take these exams. I said, yes. She said, we need to start having you take them. And I said to her, I already took them. And she just looked at me and she goes, really? And I said, yes, this test is done. This test is done. And this test is done. I still had 3 more to do, but I couldn't take those till after I had other classes. See, that is somebody who wants something. That is someone who is sharp. That is someone who is highly motivated to get stuff done. See? So when she says, oh, I'll look at it on Monday, assuming this call is a weekday call, because that's pretty much when the Ramsey Show answers calls. Okay. It's a weekday call. She wasn't in any rush to go get it. It's okay at times to just simply admit that some people are lazy. I think that's okay. We think lazy is such a bad curse word. Maybe not to the person who's lazy, but that's lazy. So you see, in my case, you tell me I needed to do it. I jumped and I got it done. She's like, well, yeah, I guess I'll do it on Monday. And she didn't sound very excited when they were saying, hey, and you could do this job. Tells you a lot. Also tells you why she's in the position she's in. She's in this financial position of her own doing. And I'm sorry, but I don't want to be the retired person watching all the other people who actually saved for retirement and just be staring at them. I don't need to go vacation all the time because I don't do that now. So I don't see why that would change. But again, I'd like to have, a few $1,000 a year. I could take maybe 2 small trips or something, around the United States. I don't have the money for global travel. You know what just kills me? Okay. You ever know people like this? and they can't afford anything now. They're not working to save anything for tomorrow, but they'll be the first ones to sit there and tell you how they're going to go out and traverse the world when they retire. I kid you not. I actually know someone and they're like, yes, I am going to travel when I retire. And I'm thinking to myself, you ain't got money now to go across the street. But hey, dream on. Dreams are good. I'm not knocking dreams. What I am knocking is if it's not the lifestyle you're holding right now, when you are not doing anything to change the future as a trajectory of that lifestyle, you're probably going to be living somewhat the same lifestyle, if not a little more broke. I'm trying to avoid that. I'd like to at least keep it somewhat the same.
I got to get my SSI applied for today.
See, more talk about Social Security. We haven't heard her say one thing about what she can do on her own for herself to create an income to better her life. But what we have heard is everything everybody else can do for her, including the person who left her the house in a trust.
Okay.
All right. Well, point is I'd also be looking at
probably this weekend. I will probably dive.
Yeah, don't wait till Monday.
Into the internet and look.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Did you hear those words? Will probably. Okay, I did not will probably that I was going to become a teacher. I marched my hiney right down those stairs into the bookstore. Okay, there's no will probably in things that you truly, truly want to solve. She really wanted to solve this problem. Here's the other thing. She didn't really need, like I said earlier, she didn't need to call into the show. Any ding dong could sit and go, oh, gee, I make $1,000 a month. Oh, no, not, I don't make. I take home $1,000 a month and I'm on food stamps. Gee, it might be nice to, have a little extra money. What can I do? Ponder, ponder.
What you got going on tonight? The way you're living, you don't have a big party life going on tonight. It's not you and the fried green tomatoes hitting the town, right?
All right, that's enough of that. Folks, this was Ramsey. As always, have a great night. Bye.